Talk about love and marriage the way that God intended. Life experience, here we share it. The No Fruit Podcast. Tune in from any platform. No Fruit Podcast will help your spirit transform.
Hello.
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
I'm fine.
That's good. Why do you sound like that though?
Sound like what?
Chicken head.
I sound like a chicken head?
Yeah, I don't know what that ever. You sound like never mind.
Never mind.
But I hope that y'all are doing pretty well today. And we talked about our special day, and we talked about looking at the man in the mirror for that last episode, and it was pretty serious to some degree. But there's something else. There's a part 2 to this that I really would like to talk about, which is the ability to dream about the life that you would like. Because a lot of times we lose that in the realness of life.
Mm-hmm. When you said it, you sound like you was preaching.
I know, right? I know, right?
I was like,
and I'm saying that because at this point in time in our lives, we're looking at the. I know it did come out rather preacherish, right?
okay.
But I'm just saying, at this point in time in our lives, we're looking and starting to really plan heavily for retirement. We're looking at it really heavily. Now, no, granted, we're not old enough to retire as of yet. We're not. But we're looking towards it because what does that look like, especially in the financial climate that we're in today?
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that have listened to other shows or the other podcasts, whatever else, some of my dream has always been to live in $1 million crib.
Right.
And I still have not come off of that dream today, even till today. But it's a lot, it seems like it's a lot more realistic of living in $1 million house today than it was in the past. And that's because every house is about $1 million. So the dream is actually becoming closer to reality more than ever. But I said that because a lot of times when we jump into a situation, and we're talking about marriage, whatever. But if you're jumping to your what you consider your dream job, buying your dream house or whatever it is, sometimes a dream can turn to quote unquote a nightmare because of what?
Reality.
Right. But how do you kind of eat for yourself?
Yes.
Whether you dream in black and white or color, why you looking like that? For you, do you consistently have a dream in mind that you're working towards? Have you lived a dream that you might have lost because of reality? How do you look at dreams, and what's your perception of dreams?
That's a loaded question. There's a whole lot of questions within that, but I'll try to dissect and give some answer.
Loaded. I loaded
I got
it
you.
up.
I'm like, what is he doing? Yeah. Well, guys. Okay. So back to
Squirrel.
That's you. The answer in reference to dreams. So, again, as any little girl growing up in the 80s, I guess, very much fixed on Barbie, very much fixed on television and what that dream life looked like. Barbie had a dream house. Yes. definitely would say I was influenced by 80s television, some 90s television as well. So that was my dream. My dream was to certainly go to college because we had lots of TV shows that said go to college. I wanted to have a career because TV shows said that women can have careers. I wanted to get married and have a family, 2.5 kids and a dog or whatever with a white picket fence. And I did not want to live. I kind of had two dreams, and I still kind of do, where I have this home that looks very much like, again, 80s TV. So you have the two sides of things where people lived in a traditional home with grass and a picket fence and, outdoor activities. And then you had those that lived like in the city in a high-rise condo. So I kind of had both, and I still do have both feelings and could be comfortable with either. So those are my two dreams. I think my issue is that through my childhood and part of my adulthood, I've lived out some of those dreams. So I've lived in a high-rise condo on a 29th floor overlooking the city. So to live there again, it would just be like, okay, well, how do I one up that? I have to move to a higher floor. Do I need, you know what I mean? Like, do I need, I didn't have outdoor space, I guess, there. But I had a bellman. I had video access to the building. I could, the bellman would call and say, hey, you have a guest here. Do you want them to come upstairs or you're going to bring them down? You're going to come down. I could see them. I could turn to a certain channel and then look and see who was standing outside with the bellman. I had, a workout space, all of those things in that high rise. I've also lived in buildings where we had a fitness center and a swimming pool. And so I've had access to so many things. I've had relatives that have lived in the white picket fence house with the in-ground pool and all those things. So I've had those experiences. I didn't have them for myself. Like, hey, I've obtained them, but I've lived in those experiences. So both of those things. Career-wise, I think I've, achieved a lot in my career. So where do I go from there? Other than just making it more profitable or things like that. So to say, hey, I'm a director of something, I've done that. To say, hey, I'm managing millions of dollars, I've done that. To say, I'm an owner of a company, I've done that. So I've checked off a lot of boxes. I'm going to college. Yes, I lived on campus. I work at a college, so I have those things that I have achieved that I've dreamed of. I've gotten married to a wonderful man who's sitting by my side and on this wonderful podcast with me. And the two of us have made two beautiful children. And we have watched them grow into adulthood and are continuing to live life with them. So I've gone through a lot of those things that I had as dreams as that 10-year-old, as that, 12-year-old. So now here I am sitting at the wonderful age of 50. And like Marisa,
you put it out there, huh?
Yeah, I put it out there before.
Okay.
At the wonderful age of 50 and kind of figuring out like what's next for me. And as Marisa is saying, like, hey, how do I retire? And that's like, there's no TV show. There's no doll that's out there like, hey, I'm retirement Barbie. This is what I do in retirement.
Right.
Mattel, maybe you're listening and you should put out a retirement Barbie. Like you have
No. Put out a retirement No Fruit Podcast coffee doll.
Put it out there. You know what I mean?
So we can retire.
So we can retire and we'll know what retirement looks like.
Right.
What does Barbie, what does, Kafa do in retirement? What does that look like?
Right.
Like, Barbie was always like, oh, I'm a veterinarian, I'm a teacher, I'm a this, I'm a lawyer, all these things at that wonderful age. But like, what does she do when she's retired? Because she technically is way past retirement age for her actual age. So I did a whole report on Barbie when I was in college, undergrad. So, yeah. So, for me right now, it is, what does retirement look like? I guess that's my new dream, is to travel, to relax, to not have cares, to be able to pay for my health care and not need it, hopefully, to live healthy and continue to live life to the fullest. But that's my dream. Like, those were my dreams. And I think a lot of things I've checked off. So, so now, like you said, the dream is, hey, what's it look later on in life?
So for you,
yes.
If we
y'all heard I said a whole lot of words. So
she actually did, y'all. Did y'all count those words?
Count them up.
5,210 words.
I think it was
maybe?
more than that.
But for you, because of all those things that you've mentioned, right? Again, put in perspective. Mm-hmm. Some of those were kids, your kiddie years, right? So you didn't achieve it, right?
Right, and I said that.
So as an adult, do you really count that as a check mark of achievement for you as an adult?
I guess as an adult, I guess the house with the fence and the yard, I think I've checked that off. We've had that. As, like I said, for the career, the college, those things I have achieved. Check those things off. Now, as for the high-rise apartment, haven't checked that off for us yet.
Well, I guess the question is, what do you consider a high-rise apartment? Because when we first started dating, you lived in an apartment on a second, third, fourth floor. That wasn't high-rise enough.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
I don't even know that song. What song is that?
I live upstairs from you.
I don't know that song.
Okay. Anyway, again, 80s.
You keep saying you're an 80s kid, but you were done high school in the 80s. So.
I was not done high school in the 80s.
But anyway.
Yeah,
Let's continue.
Yes, please continue. So, no, I can't say I can check that off as an adult because I have not signed a lease for a high-rise apartment. Now, have we rented hotels that were up high? Yeah, but have not purchased or leased a high-rise apartment. So I guess that's still on the potential bucket list. Not that high for me. I mean, again, I think vacation in a high-rise would be nice, but not necessarily to own it and be there because I don't know.
I mean,
it's not as huge of a desire. I just still have like that looking out on the city or looking out on the horizon, that type of thing was very, very nice growing up. And so to see that as an adult would be nice. But do I have to live and have that every single day? No, I wouldn't. Because it wasn't always, every day wasn't the bestest up on the 29th floor.
I mean, I know me personally, I don't want to see a hurricane coming at me.
Yeah, we had lots of hurricanes.
I don't want to see being able to look outside and be like, all right, here come the blizzard.
Yes.
Okay, here comes the blizzard. Oh, wow. We're getting, because we're so high up in the sky, we're getting the snow before the snow. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? Like there are certain things that, for me up there, I would just wait.
Yeah.
I'll just sit there with my hands over my eyes and be like, because I don't want to see it coming.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I don't want to see or hear the wind. And like there's certain things that high-rise wise, I just don't want to deal with. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that because with me growing up and those of you who knew, my whole West Philly journey of, whatever and being on
born and raised.
yeah. And the living on the third floor, the family house, third floor, and just what was it, Hurricane Gloria?
I don't know.
Whatever
I
hurricane
can't fact
it
check you,
was.
so whatever.
But one of them hurricanes or whatever had come through, and I remember it blowing out the windows on the third floor.
Oh, wow.
One or two windows on the third floor. Not all of them, but just like one or two or whatever. And, or like it slipped out. I can't remember, something along those lines, but I remember having one of the windows kind of getting messed up, at least. So,
Hurricane Gloria was 1985.
Okay, it wasn't Gloria. Whatever it was in 1984.
I mean, I remember now 85. I remember Gloria because I was in that building, and I remember people trying to walk home. I don't know what was going on, but they were like literally getting blown across the sidewalk because like where that apartment was, it was facing the Schuylkill River, and so there was the bridge across the Schuylkill.
People were getting blown into the river.
No, the way the wind was blowing, like. They were getting blown from the sidewalk towards the main street. Yeah. Oh. And they had umbrellas, and the umbrellas were flying. It was just, I thought it was hilarious as a little kid, but, you know.
I mean, 95, you wouldn't have been a little kid.
85.
Though. Oh, 85. Okay,
yes.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, so whatever that was, because we were living there, you know, at that time. So I remember the window coming out or something along those lines. And so, and being up there and hearing it, I could just imagine what it would have been like if I was on the 29th floor. I could just imagine. You get what I mean? You know, especially if you're in a mental space or a headspace of being, you know what, I'm just gonna ride it out up here in my own place,
right?
And you know whatever, and you know, and you're hearing the wind blowing your windows in and out, like you see them moving, you hear them, you know, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, so that's just me. You know, I just won't want to be that high. But again, you know, we're talking about dreams and where we are and what we've accomplished. It sounds like you've accomplished a lot, but at what stage in life and how do you stay motivated? And I'm bringing up this idea or this thought because there's something on my desk right now that says failure is not an option, you are a winner. And a lot of times we don't consider ourselves a winner because we have not achieved our dreams. And a lot of times we look at that and say, hey, you know what? Life experiences, this thing happened in life, that thing happened in life. We want to blame other people and not take accountability for that. Or we don't count it as a win. You know, so even for yourself, you know, you say, all right, Maurice, well, I had a dream of being in a high rise. And so I question you real quick on, well, that was you as a kid, not necessarily you as an adult. So that can change because of that one little question can change how we view our dreams and our accomplishments. No, it may not have been you per se, but you were able still out, you know, to live out your, you know, Barbie dream house moment.
Yes.
You get what I mean? You know, so, what?
No, that's where I learned how to do the elevator trick where you press the button and you press close doors.
Barbie did not have an elevator.
She did have an elevator in her house.
Cough.
What?
Cough.
You don't remember the elevator? Oh, you didn't have Barbie. Anyway, Barbie had an elevator in her house. You know, it was only 3 floors, but still, she had an elevator. But on the 29th floor, we had the trick where you would press lobby and then hold the closed door button because you wanted to get down faster. So,
but how did you learn that from Barbie? Barbie didn't have.
I didn't learn it from Barbie. I just said in living there is where I learned the elevator trick, and I still use it today because now I have to take the elevator to work, and yeah, so I press the floor and close the door so that I can skip if somebody's called the elevator.
Okay. Anyway, right.
So if you learn anything, try that and let us know if it works for you. You press the button, the floor that you want to go to. And you press close door, and you hold it the whole entire time.
I don't know where these little, you know, things be coming from. So my thing is words.
Yes.
Kafa's things are tricks.
Tricks, yes.
She has some really interesting ways of going about life.
Now, what do you call when you play a game and it has cheats? I got cheat codes. Kafa's cheat codes. There you go.
Yeah. Did y'all hear she clapped for herself? Oh gosh, that is hilarious. You know, but I you know, again, we want to make sure that as the No Fruit podcast, that you count everything as a win.
Yes.
That you're not getting down on yourself because of something might have changed up on you, you know, or whatever it is. Like, yo, you won in that situation because you learned something, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
You've grown from something, hopefully, right? You know, so
even when you have to cut back,
right?
You know what I mean? So if you have to, you know, prune that plant, if you have to cut back and stop eating certain foods, whatever it is, like it's for the win. It's to prolong your life, to help things better.
But you know,
Don't look at it as a loss right now. And I think sometimes, like especially when Maurice and I are fasting.
Oh, geez. Oh, wow.
You know, we hit that struggle at a certain time of the day, and we call each other, you know, and just kind of motivate each other because it is a struggle.
I'm divorced. Don't talk about it.
So,
I'm losing.
you're not, you're winning. You know what I mean? And that's what, you know, like he's called before and he's like, I don't think I can do this. Like, this is such a struggle. And I say, well, how bad do you want it? Because you're only going to gain if you lose. And let me say that again. You can only gain if you lose. So, you know, that's it doesn't sound right, but you have to lose something in order to gain more.
I just want you to know that I don't like that game.
You don't like the game? Game? Mm-hmm. Why is it a game?
Because I can't gain nothing but when I'm losing. Shoot.
You do gain.
Not like that.
GAIN.
No, I don't gain nothing.
You do. You've gained a lot. You have gained a lot. Like, again, just look at this podcast. Again, we have gone through some ups and downs or whatever, some more downs, and we've lost some things, decided to start fasting and praying on it, and now things are growing. The podcast is growing. We've got some new things coming up real soon for all of our listeners. So we're excited about our growth, but we had to snip back and we had to trim some things off of not only the podcast, but we had to trim some things off of ourselves as your wonderful hosts. We've been nominated for, you know, some things, and we've got new things coming on the horizon.
I want to eat.
And you will eat. The harvest is plenty. So when that time comes, you can't eat before it's ready. It can make you sick. So you have to wait. Yes, baby.
Maybe. I mean, so when we're gonna use the analogy, if you in the kitchen, you cooking, right?
Yes.
And you, like last night, made some French fries. So you made some French fries, and you weren't finished making all the batches of French fries. And I came in and took a French fry. So I can't eat during the process.
The French fries were done. The part what I'm talking about is you can't eat the French fry before it's cooked. You can't eat a plate of them exactly. I mean, I have eaten raw potato.
Yeah.
But I'm not consuming a plate full of them because that would, I believe, would make me.
We need to look that up and fact check that.
We'll fact check that.
I think you can eat raw potatoes. I'm not sure if it's in any particular one that's, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but a plate full of them, I don't think would be.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I'm sure people do a lot of raw vegetables. So
everybody didn't always have a hot plate. I mean, you know, the cooking food on.
Fire.
You know, I mean, come on now. So
okay.
You know, but no, I agree with you though. I think that, you know, you have to lose something in order to gain, and a lot of times, in all honesty, we're too selfish. We don't want to. We're selfish in that. We're selfish in that piece of the game. We don't understand that you got to lose. Sometimes you got to lose ground to gain ground, because some people don't. They're so busy. It's like the analogy everybody uses about it's chess not checkers mentality. Sometimes
I don't know either one, so go ahead.
So sometimes you do have to give up a pawn or two in order to let the other individual think they're gaining on you.
Okay.
So, and then next thing you know, you just wipe them out.
That's
Because
a new goal for me.
What?
You talking about goals? Maybe I'll learn how to play checkers or chess.
Oh, you ain't doing that. And I'll say that.
Before I die, I'm going to know how to play it.
No, before she dies, she needs to learn how to play black people games. Pinochle.
All right, you sound very
Poker.
much like the guy with, black jobs, like black
know,
games, black jobs. Okay.
And I only say that only because just to be jokey. But
Okay.
but in all reality though, a lot of times people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to give up something to get something. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times people are talking about, hey, you always got to be on attack. You always, stand your ground, 100% of the time. Well, you can't do that all the time.
Sometimes standing your ground is understanding that I have to lose a few things because I'm going to gain a whole lot more.
Right.
Or even if it's not a whole lot more, I can lose 5 things and gain 1 thing.
Right.
But that 1 thing is more valuable than those 5 things.
And sometimes we don't see it that way.
Right.
We don't look at it from that perspective.
Because we still, act like we're in kindergarten. We see 5 things. Like, give me 5 nickels.
Right.
Versus $1. That's only 1. I remember that was on social media one time where the kid was like, no, I don't want the $1 because I have 5 nickels. And why am I going to give you 5 nickels? I'm going to keep my 5 nickels because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you only have 1.
So I'm going to liken that to a silver dollar.
Yes.
Because you're holding up your hand like
paper.
you're using
Yes.
paper. But if you like you said, depending in your state of maturity,
Yes.
and you see a silver dollar versus anything else,
Mm-hmm.
Quarter, nickel, especially for those denominations that you already know of, hey, I think I'll have more versus your 1. Well, no, my 1 is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, they don't even make that anymore like that. So how valuable are they today?
Yes.
So almost like at one particular time, a $2 bill. They were so rare at one particular time,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's just $2. No, it's not just $2, and
It's worth $2.50.
yeah, right. So I think that's the challenge, that sometimes we get caught up in what others have and also in our selfishness, that we're unable to see the true value in someone else or another object or whatever it is. We don't, or more especially what's in our own hands, our own gifts, our own talents, because everybody is different. Mm-hmm. Now, do we have it to say, hey, you know what, everybody can do the same thing? Yeah, I mean, we could on different, degrees, but everybody's been blessed to be different, so like on the podcast. Yes, Kaf and I are both hosts, but we bring something different to the table for the podcast, so can I say, because with me being the producer of it and, all that type of stuff, can Kafa do it? Yeah, she could, but hey, you know what? As of today, I'm a little more quicker with it, efficient with it, whatever it might be. How long is it going to take for her to learn it? And then ultimately, does she really want to learn it? You can't force people. I'm not saying she doesn't, but that's just the reality. But I'm pretty sure in a pinch, if she had to do it in a pinch, she could. Now, would she be frustrated? Will you be frustrated in doing it? I think so. Because we've been through other situations where it's like, well, Maurice, you do a little quicker, why don't you do it? Vice versa, same thing for me. Let's sit there and paint a wall, right? I will not have the patience to cut the corners and everything else. Kafa will do that freehand and act as if like she just used a piece of paper or something to cut that straight edge. I'm not that patient. I could paint the wall. I'm a artist at heart, but I'm nowhere near as patient and skillful with the brush as Kafa is. We could do the same exact thing, but some people have more skill than others. So a lot of times we get caught up in that. And it's like, and in our frustration, we're like, I could do the same thing. Give me the brush. Well, no, you can't. because now your emotion is involved. Now you're not critically thinking, whatever it is, and your project is not looking the same. It's not feeling the same. It's not done with love, So yeah, I could have cooked those French fries the other night, but they may not have come out as crispy and golden brown like McDonald's fries as they, So, so again, as we take a look at this idea of dreams and whatever, don't lose your own personal dreams trying to chase somebody else's, thinking that you could be somebody else. I don't want to be in a high rise. It sounds nice. I would love for it to be a vacation home, maybe. I don't want, as Kafa said, I don't want living in every day, which she did. She accomplished part of her thing. But I don't have to duplicate that. You get what I mean? And then even when we look at the house thing, I want to live in $1 million house. Kafa does not. It's okay. We're okay with that. Because if we had to sit here and say, hey, do we accomplish something relatively in the middle? Yeah, we have. Do we have a nice yard? Do we have one with a pool in it? And, a slip and slide, and, a basketball court? And, yeah, we have. And sometimes we don't take that into consideration, like, hey, what we've already accomplished. Because we're so caught up in what's the next big thing. And not,
or again, looking at someone else, like I said,
right.
Looking at what was on television, MTV Cribs and all those things from back in the day. We measure ourselves up to that. So we have to be cautious and careful of that. And then truly understanding, as Maurice was talking, I was thinking, being careful, one, of understanding our gifts and our graces that will allow us to achieve those dreams and those goals. And then secondly, what's the purpose of that dream and that goal? Is it just to be flashy and tell people, I got $1 million house? Is it just to be flashy for me to take pictures of, me on a rooftop deck? You know what I mean?
Instant Instagram model.
100 stories above, the city or whatever it is. For what? How does that make the world better? How does that help my fellow man? Does it get me, at this point, more likes and more follows or whatever it is on social media? Okay. But that's for one day. Now if I'm turning it into a business and I'm going to take photography from my 100-floor patio and I'm taking photo and video of sunrise and sunset, okay, that's nice.
Sunrise, sunset. I'm sorry.
I like that song. Now it's stuck in my head.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, there's things to do with that. But again, what's your dream, but understanding what's the purpose behind that dream, and is it really aligned properly with your higher calling?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So whomever you may believe in, is it aligned with that? Because a dream is just a dream, It's not a plan until you write it down. And you have action steps towards it. So again, you can have a dream forever, and not move anything towards it, not have any action steps. So that's my thing for everybody. It's what are your action steps moving towards that?
Becoming a singer.
Becoming a senior?
Singer.
A singer. That's
Singer.
That's your dream?
Singer. Yes.
But you've been a singer.
A dream.
Here we go with these random songs all over the place. So you've been a singer before. You have sung in front of many and sung with many famous folks. Well, not many famous folks, but with famous folks. So I think you can check that off your box.
Mm-hmm.
That box, yeah.
I've sang. Mama, I can sing. I've been in a play.
You've been a play?
Been in a play.
You've been in a play. Okay.
Singing.
Mm-hmm.
We sang on stage.
You don't want to continue that, or you want? That's what you're saying now. You're letting me know that you want to be a singer. You want to continue that.
Mama, I want to sing. What's that? Isn't that a play?
It is a play.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to sing, Mama.
Again, from the 90s.
And I want to go and, I want to see my name in lights. I guess I've achieved that.
You have achieved that.
On more than one occasion.
Yeah, especially because we have LED strips and you can just put your name in lights.
So I don't want y'all to lose sight of your dreams. I don't want y'all to lose sight of the things where you've already won. Because you're an overcomer. That's what the show is about. Is
Every day you've overcome because you've overcome the day before.
I guess. Maybe.
You survived yesterday.
Some people feel as though they haven't. Some people, like, oh man, yesterday was bad. Today gonna be bad. Tomorrow gonna be bad.
And it can be, but you survived yesterday's bad, so
it's like what
keep going.
Like Deion Sanders said. I think it was Deion Sanders where he's like, I don't have a bad day.
Yes.
You have a bad moment, right? A moment where you feel down or whatever it is, but don't buy into the idea of you having a bad day. Nothing's a bad day because again, like you just stated, you've overcome that day. You're here for another day, and that means your mission is not complete yet,
right?
So continue to dream, and as we're looking at this TV show, Lady of the Lake or whatever it is. Go get that dream book and go play the lottery.
No, because Maurice had a dream about playing the lottery and he did not do it.
And you know what's funny? I dreamt about playing the lottery, winning the lottery, and I told Kafa about it. And then doesn't she send me a text within the next 5 minutes of how this lady or somebody won in Jersey or something whatever it was.
It was in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. I'm like, are you serious? But I had, so whatever.
All right.
Missed that boat. Now I got to go back to sleep.
No. There's a new one. You got it. All right. Later.
All right.
We'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to talk to Maurice about playing the lottery.
All right. I'll talk to y'all. Bye.
Bye.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.